Apple Vision Pro. Can it really buck the trend of augmented reality flops? Apple's new mixed reality glasses launched with plenty of hype. But history suggests the device might face an uphill battle, says Chris Stokel-Walker. Apple is best known for its game-changing new product launches. The arrival of the iPod was instrumental in transforming how the world interacts and consumes music, while the launch of the iPhone marked the start of the smartphone era. It has also helped tablets and later smartwatches become must-have accessories thanks to the iPad and Apple Watch. And this week's announcement that the company will sell a $3,499 (£2,800) mixed reality headset, the Apple Vision Pro, from early next year, has been seen by some as a new iPhone moment. The U.S. technology giant's first foray into mixed reality headsets, which it has termed spatial computing, has been seen by some as the impetus for a new revolution in wearable technology. But can it really succeed where so many others have failed? The history of mixed, virtual and augmented reality goggles is littered with the corpses of failed projects past. We've seen a variety of augmented reality and virtual reality products that have been loudly hyped and failed to live up to their promise, says Mar Hicks, a historian of technology and professor at the Illinois Institute of Technology. Much of the problem has been finding a use for this technology that people actually want, or even need. The immersive and interactivity augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR, provide have tended to lend themselves most obviously to the gaming industry. For the past 20 or 30 years, or since the late 80s or early 90s, there's been this vision about virtual reality, says Sylvia Pan, professor of virtual reality at Goldsmiths, University of London. Some attempts came to market, like Nintendo's Virtual Boy, which claimed to be able to present stereoscopic, three-dimensional, 3D graphics while playing games. But the Virtual Boy suffered from being too expensive, too clunky, and not effective enough. A second attempt at stereoscopic, 3D, through the company's 3DS handheld games console, was downplayed by the company when promoting the console. There was a hype in the early 2000s, but it gradually came down, says Pan. In 2013, the excitement started once more with Oculus's Kickstarter campaign. Oculus VR, a VR headset firm, was set up by Palmer Luckey, a retro game modder, tinkering with classic video games to inject new life into them. As well as being a video game fan, Luckey was a tech obsessive. He amassed what he called the largest private collection of VR headsets in the world. By 16, he was making his own. Eventually, he felt confident one of his prototypes was good enough to make it to market. In August 2012, he launched a crowdfunding campaign under the Oculus VR company umbrella. The Kickstarter aimed to raise $250,000, £160,200 at the time, in crowdfunding for the headset, which promised to bring an immersive gaming experience. In the end, it raised 10 times that amount. Oculus was a rare success story in the early days of VR headsets' relatively recent history. So much so that it was bought by Facebook, now Meta, in March 2014 for $2 billion, £1.2 billion at the time. The acquisition of Oculus brought big tech into the game, and Meta continues to be a major player in the area as it builds a new virtual world called the Metaverse. But while Meta's move into VR appears to have helped the technology become more mainstream, the backing of a major technology company doesn't always mean success. 10 years ago, Google launched Google Glass, its attempt at augmented reality. Glass wearers would see the world with a graphical layer of digital information atop their field of view. But the product flopped. The eyewear was considered unstylish, hard to use, and many people objected to the built-in camera for users to record the world around them. Perhaps most unkindly of all, the most enthusiastic wearers came to be termed glassholes. Much AR technology struggles to connect with ordinary people or only connects for a fleeting moment, Mar Hicks. I tried Google Glass for an extended period in 2013 and found the experience interesting, if primitive even by the standards of 2013, says Ernie Smith, a technology journalist and author of the TDM newsletter, which tracks odd quirks and failed technology. I think if Google released it today with more up-to-date technology, it would be more warmly received. 2 years after the release of Google Glass, another company, called Magic Leap, announced its own offering. Magic Leap was a hugely championed company, raising more in investment capital than any other company in the market in the past decade for its augmented reality glasses, which took 3 years to reach the market. When released in August 2018, Magic Leap had goals of selling 100,000 of its bug-eyed headsets in its first year. 6 months after release, the company had reportedly sold just 6,000. Part of the problem was the price of the Gizmo minus $2,300, £1,800. But the headset also had its flaws, a limited field of view and questionable image quality. Even so, it was still considered to be a better offering than other AR headsets available at the time, such as Microsoft's HoloLens. The main issue was that consumers struggled to find meaningful uses for these devices that justified strapping them on. Simpler approaches to AR were more successful. Pokémon Go, a smartphone game, released in 2016, normalized the idea of AR with a very specific deployment. Cute cartoon characters would appear on your phone screen as you looked at the real world through the camera on your device.